recording local, and for that we've got a recording going, so we're going to be able to share it with people who couldn't make it this morning and who have registered already. Just to let you know. But yeah, today we're talking about supporting local, and maybe this will get some thoughts going about how we can all collaborate, how we can all support each other in other ways as well. So we got Gavin there from Ludgate. Mick is the administrator at Clonakilty Chamber of Commerce. Good morning. Good stuff, Mick. So yeah, if you're there, just let us know if you're a remote worker, what you're doing, what type of work you're doing. Just share with us so we all have an idea. And I'll be taking us through the day, the morning, and we're going to finish up at the very latest 11 because we've got some tea and coffee and pastries there in Ludgate Hub. I'm not there, so I'm a bit jealous. But if you are there, I'm sure you're looking forward to that. But we may finish a little bit earlier than 11. We'll see how it goes. But we've got Clonakilty Chamber, Skibbereen Chamber, and Dunmanway Chamber represented here today. We're going to hear a lot about what's happening locally, as I said. So if you want to keep on going in the chat, if you've any questions, I can take those. So you guys in the room, I'm not sure if we have a system for asking questions, but you might want to somehow get into a chat box or maybe pass Gavin a piece of paper or whatever. But yeah, if you do have any questions, we'll work something out and I'll take those and I can sort of keep things moving. So don't be shy. If you don't want to put it into the chat with everyone, you can directly message me on the chat on Zoom here, and then I can just put it sort of as an interview kind of thing. But we've got Peter there. He's a centre manager in Brook Park Business Centre in Dunmanway. And we've got Helen and Kate from Skibbereen Chamber of Commerce. Good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us. I think Gavin's doing all the backstage stuff. He's sorting out the text. All right. So we have your audio now in the room. Good to see you guys. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Good stuff. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to start with a little bit, just an introduction, a little bit to Grow Remote. And this is actually based on a presentation that we did virtually yesterday. And we did this for a group, I think it's the Reignite program. Gavin, you can correct me if we're wrong, but we did this just to present a little bit about remote working, a little bit about Grow Remote. And this was something that we helped out those guys in Ludgate. So let me know if you can see that screen. Should say, what is remote employment? Loading now. Loading. Yeah, can you see that now?
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so Grow Remote is it's a non-profit social enterprise, and we were founded by a group of volunteers back in 2018. And that means that we're pre-pandemic, and what we do is try to support local chapters. So these are groups of local volunteers who want to bring a positive social impact to their area. And this is a manifestation of it today, where we have stakeholders involved and people from the local community coming together to talk about their local area and how they can all contribute and collaborate together. But the first question often comes up, and this is something in more traditional workplaces, in more traditional office spaces, that we're still discussing: what is remote employment? Since the pandemic, it's become a much broader concept. People understand it in many different ways, but that can also be a little bit of a challenge. So when we say remote, what we really mean is work that you can do from anywhere. And usually that means work that you can connect online via the internet and do your job from any location. And in Grow Remote, at the minute, we focus on location within Ireland. So any place in Ireland, whether it's rural West Cork or Dublin city centre or Achill Island or Ironmore Island up in Donegal, you can do the exact same job from any location. So that's what we mean. Look, going back, it was also called distributed work, location agnostic, telecommuting and telework. I think that was the original sort of European Council phrase, telework. Now we use remote work as a more contemporary idea. And what it isn't, importantly, as we move out of the pandemic, remote work is not working from home as an emergency precaution during a pandemic. So what we all had to do when we were confined to our homes during a public health emergency, that's not the best way, or even an ideal way, or even a functional way of working remotely. So Grow Remote tries to support people in communities all across Ireland to work remotely. And we do this by working with employers primarily, because it's working with the employers to help them determine how they can employ and hire and onboard and manage their people remotely. That's really the key. Everything stems from that. And importantly, these employers are not just tech companies. They're not just software engineers. We have people from all sectors, all industries, and all fields. So 3 types of remote workers come through our our community, and our community is made up of, like I said, those employers. It's also made up of the local people that are getting involved. They might be job seekers, but they're also coming through our courses because we offer training to people who want to learn more about remote work. So our community is very, very broad. And there are 3 types. There are remote employees, freelancers and contractors, and then entrepreneurs who are running their own businesses. And there are different types of remote work setups as well. There's fully remote, where you can go anywhere and absolutely live anywhere, do your work from anywhere. Remote within, say, Munster, or remote within County Cork, remote within Dublin, remote within Donegal, and that is up to the employer to determine these boundaries. Or hybrid, and I'm sure you've heard this word hybrid a lot. This is the main kind of currency that we're dealing with right now. Hybrid can mean that you are either in the process of changing your policy, so you are facilitating remote work, but you are also working through an office, and people can come into the office to work. So that is a changing dynamic every single month. We have conversations with employers every month, and it is fascinating to see the changes or the stagnation of that conversation. So when we're talking to these employers, we often talk about the benefits. So the benefits for an individual, say, might be that they can move out of a city, move out to a non-urban area, where maybe they've got more flexibility on cost. Maybe they've got a better career opportunity because they can access any remote job anywhere, rather than the jobs that are currently available in that location. For instance, jobs available in Dublin, jobs available in Mayo, jobs available in Galway City, whatever it might be. But if you open it up to remote, there are thousands and thousands of jobs available no matter where you are. And that means you can live in West Cork and have access to all those. And through the West Cork chapter, we're trying to make sure people understand and are aware and can find these jobs. And what we hear from our community members is that Grow Remote, their membership of Grow Remote, is a way for people to share ideas and experiences of how the flexible work and the lack of commute and their work-life balance has all improved as a result of remote working. And then also there's this financial element as well, where you can possibly, if you're working with a traditional city business or a city office, you can live rurally and be part of that same economic structure. The benefits then for the local community are that we can hopefully see, and we see this through our chapters, increased participation in community groups. That's often through more time, having more time to get involved locally. Population, where people do not leave and new people move to the area. Also, the investment in local infrastructure, because we have more people here. We've got more investment through these employers and these conversations that we have about remote work. And we see this now through networks like Connected Hubs and all these massive this dynamic conversation that's happening all across Ireland through all these people who are now building these new assets locally. And then we have obviously the economic, the financial, the more money being spent at a local level. So there are also challenges, and these are things that we talk about to our to these employers, to our managers, and we have a course called Leading Remote Teams, where we would bring managers, bring directors of companies, bring HR specialists through this course, and we talk them through how we can support these challenges in the workplace. And we also talk about remote work jobs. So the fact that there are 80,000 jobs at the latest estimate available remotely. So that means that those jobs can be accessed from anywhere, i.e. from West Cork. So there's lots of different stuff to get through, lots of conversations, but the main idea about remote work and the work of Grow Remote is that we have these kind of double-sided focus. We focus on conversations with employers, and it's really, really important that we speak about hiring remotely, recruiting remotely, managing remotely, doing it well, because only with the support of these employers will the employees get that benefit. And then working with the local communities to try and capitalize on the fact that remote work allows you to work flexibly. It allows you to work from wherever you're living, and then you can choose where you settle. So with that in mind, I'd love to hear from Mick Hanley, who is from the Clonakilty Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to hear a little bit about the community there and what they're doing in the run up to Christmas. So I'll hand it over to you, Mick.
Thanks, Donald. Just introduce myself, Mick Hanley is my name, and I am the part-time administrator with Chamber of Commerce, working 10 hours a week. My ambition in life is to actually do 10 hours a week, some week, like, you know, other than the 40 hours a week, but it's an enjoyable job. I enjoy it. Well, we became remote back in 2017 when we used to have an office down in town, but we decided that it was not really cost effective. So I work from home now. Nearly 95% of what I do is online, between finance, social media, websites, emails, all that kind of stuff, and Zoom. All our chamber meetings now are virtually by Zoom. So just to give you a heads up of where we started back in 2010, and it came as an amalgamation of the Clonakilty Business Association, and there was also a Chamber of Tourism. So it was decided to join the two organisations because, in general, while both organisations did good work in their own thing, there was generally a lot of duplication. You know, that's what happens, and so duplication has duplicate costs. So that's where the chamber started in 2010. And as I say, we had the office downtown, but generally speaking, people weren't that interested in going into an office. If you had to meet somebody, you met them in a coffee shop. They prefer that more informal place of a coffee shop. So now we don't have any office costs. We don't have rent or rates. We don't have heating, lighting, broadband, nothing like that. So it's all from home, and it suits me fine because I can sit on my laptop while my wife is watching Coronation Street and do chamber business, like, you know. So that's how it operates, really, like, you know. Just to give you an idea, we have the chamber in Clon have approximately 110 members. From many of them would be sole traders, individual people who sit in their remotely in their office and work remotely, and we also have a lot of industries, the and those, and then we have a lot of services, dentists, solicitors. So the membership generally is on a sliding scale depending on how many you have working with you, or if you're a sole trader. So that's a sliding scale of the membership. We generally communicate with them via email. We have good social media presence. We run Clonakilty Notes board on social media. We run I Love Clonakilty Clonakilty.ie. We run a chamber Facebook page, and we also have I Love Clonakilty Instagram page. We have the Clonakilty handle on Twitter. So we have a good enough presence on social media. And we have a girl helping us with that as well. Myself and Amy, we kind of what we kind of look at the start of every year in relation to what we actually do for a year is we kind of look at what projects we could support at the start of the year, and generally we actually look for people who have an idea. They come to us with an idea, and they might say, look, I have an idea, but not only do they have an idea, but they have the will to drive it forward. We all know these people, and they're great at ideas, but that's where it ends. You know, ideas need somebody to drive it. So we start of every year when we have our meeting, we has a project in mind. But when they come to us with the idea, they need to be able to drive it forward. They need to be able to kind of give us the financials on it, and give us an estimate of how long it will take. So we kind of consider that, and if we consider it it's a good project, we'll go with it. Just for example, now this year, what we're working on is the playground group came to us. They wanted to refurbish the playground in Clonakilty. Effectively, it's going to cost. When it started, it was costing €100,000. They had to raise €100,000, and they needed chamber support. We say, yeah, we'll support it. But effectively, as the year went by and the Ukrainian crisis came, the cost of it went from 100,000 to 140,000 because of the cost of supply. So effectively, they ended up with a 130,000 project, which last week they actually succeeded in achieving. So they actually achieved the project. And we supported them, and we continue to support them when they get over the line. One of our big projects is we are also in the middle of, I would just say, building a solar farm in Shannon Vale over Clonakilty as part of our government scheme, and it's going to cost roughly 8 million. Started at 6 million, now it's 8 million. So we have, pretty good guys working on it for the chamber. Hopefully we'll get it over the line, but it's something that we won't see on the ground until 2024. But that's a project that's taking a lot of time. So we have people who support these projects, drive these projects forward, and they're the two main ones. There's other small things happening with networking and all that kind of stuff in the morning. But that's generally how we operate. Probably the jewel in our crown since 2013 would be, it's a yearly thing, but it's these Clonakilty vouchers. We started these Clonakilty vouchers in 2013. You can see them there now. I don't know, it's probably back to front there for you, but they're vouchers that we issue from the chamber in Clonakilty, and we started in. So we issue those, people buy them. We have four shops selling them in Clonakilty, and people go in and I sell them. So people go in, they buy the voucher, they're in 10 unit denominations, or 10 euro denominations or 20 euro denominations. So they can buy whatever they want, and they can use in about 60 premises around the town that they will accept them. The big plus about them is the voucher that was purchased in 2013. You got a 20 euro voucher in 2013, and you walk into a shop today, it's still the same value. It's the same as a 20 euro note. You walk into the shop, it's a 20 euro value. Doesn't lose any of its value. The banks don't get any cut out of it, nothing. So, and there's also what we call a multiplier effect. So, I mean the multiplier effect, in other words, if I go into a shop and I give them a voucher for whatever, a lot of the shops trade them among themselves. So rather than converting it to cash, they actually will go from, maybe you go into the new shop and they'll take them, they'll go down to the shoe shop, or they'll go across to the clothes shop. So generally they're well used by the time I get them back and people redeem them. So how it operates is, at the end of the day, when they are redeemed, they'll hand it back to me, and I will give them the cash value minus 2.5%. The 2.5% is the actual cost of running the scheme. But generally speaking, not many people redeem them because they get the value of them by just moving them around town. I'd be confident enough to say that we've put out millions of them since 2013. Every year we're kind of issuing maybe 200,000 euro worth of vouchers, maybe more some year, less some year. This year, particularly, we'll issue a lot more because the government have this employee benefit scheme, whereas up to this year, employers could reward their employees with a 500 euro tax-free bonus, usually around Christmas time. Can be done any time during the year, but most businesses held them over until Christmas time. this year that is now €1,000, and just to show the difference of it, like the last couple of weeks now, I have one hotel and they've €30,000 worth of them, and I have a medical practice. They bought €10,000 of them the last week or so, so whereas last year it would have been half that because it was 500. Now they all see the benefit of the vouchers, and as I said to Peter, like there's €100 off them for your draw afterwards.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mick. I put the link in there actually so people can check it out, and there's a list of where people can buy it. I stuck that in Atkins, Tom, and then there's a big list which I wasn't able. It didn't let me post it here. But
Yeah,
it's click into that link, and you can see what looks like about 50, 60 organizations that are selling those vouchers. So that's great.
Yeah. So most they would all be chamber members who accept them, but we know most of the businesses take them anyway, even if they're not chamber members, they take them because they'll take them, they go out to Super Value and spend them in Super Value, or they go to, so it's really most of the businesses take them. We don't restrict them at all. The only thing that the non-chamber members cannot do would be redeem them, like, so in other words, if a non-chamber business takes them there, and a lot of businesses will actually, so rather than taking them in and redeeming them, they will actually overhold them until the Christmas, and they'll actually hand them out as the bonus. As in other words, if you have two employees and you want to give each of them €1,000, all they do is they keep the vouchers during the year and they give them to their employees for the Christmas bonus, and that's tax free.
Yeah, that's
no pay aside, tax free.
Brilliant system. Thank you so much.
That's generally it for Clan Chamber. If anybody has a question, I can take it. I'll have to apologize because I really have to go after this, but I'll take a few questions if anybody has them at the moment.
Well, you also stuck in your contact details there, so that's brilliant. People want to reach out and they can have a look at the site and stuff. So thank you so much, Mick. We'll let you go, and I'll bring in Helen Dempsey, who's going to join us from Skibbereen Chamber to tell us what's happening and how people can get involved locally, and just give us a bit of a picture on the ground. Thank you so much, Helen. We'll get you unmuted there in a wee second.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Helen Dempsey. I'm a business owner, a gift shop and furniture store in the town. I'm probably involved with the Chamber for approximately 10 years. This next to me here is Kate, our part-time administrator, and who works remotely. And she'll come in there a little bit. Like Mick, I probably will leave very quickly because I need to open my shop and sell some things. We really based, I suppose, like Mick, we've also a lot of the same work, but we really based our presentation today on Christmas and what we're doing at the moment. We face a lot of the same challenges as well. This evening, and that's another part we're rushing out, we are have our event starting this evening. We have our Christmas parade at 5:30 with switching on the lights to welcome Santa and Mrs. Claus. The Mayor of County Cork, Danny Collins, is coming along, and we run a competition in the school for the kids. So we picked two kids, two children to turn on the lights. But this year we've stretched it out a little bit, and we're picking two from the schools, but we're also having two Ukraine children just to include our Ukraine community in our town events. We have carol singing this evening by the Island Vibe Choir, and we have, maybe you noticed if anyone has passed through, we have a cabin which we build on the bridge every Christmas, and we have a scene set up in that, which is, there's a lot of animated things and the kids love it, and they can come and, you know, have a look and sit there, and by its side will be the crib. And we have kids come from the school every year and they do a little carol singing there, and they just sit there, and it's quite nice for them to enjoy. The Silver Band here, our local band in Skibbereen, will be playing at least 2 Saturdays for December. Again, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. I suppose there's free parking in our town. We have 2-hour parking in most of the town, and we have a couple of free car parks. which is again a great help to bring people into town for us. There'll be usually we all the shops and the businesses do discounts on the 8th of December. So again, that's again helping to bring people in. Maybe I'd hand over to Kate there to do another little bit.
She knows this is my favourite bit. The elves, so Santa comes to town. Yes, he does work remotely from from Skibbereen, but he also brings his elves, and they're hidden around town. And as Helen will tell you, I sit in meetings with my ears covered going, I don't want to know where they are because I want to come in and enjoy it and bring my kids in as well. So it's a way of getting people to look around the shops and have a look at the windows, and we run a competition there. So the kids try and find all the 10 elves hiding in the town, and everyone goes into a draw. We're also running a mini zoo in the tourist office on the 17th of December. So we'll have various bugs and beasts and mammals and small animals and that kind of thing to entertain the kids. We run, we obviously promote Shop Local. Yeah, in my head. So anyone shopping in town get to enter a hamper drawer. So we provide 5 hampers filled with gifts and treats from our members from the Chamber of Commerce.
We buy these from the shops,
which we buy ourselves, and again that's drawn live streamed on the Skibbereen Home Facebook page, which again is run by the Chamber. And we, like Mick, we have the town vouchers. So again, great way to shop local. Exactly the same way we encourage our members to join and redeem the vouchers in their shops. We do a like for like. So if you've 50 euros taken in, we actually pay 50 euros. We'll see how long that continues, but for now anyway, we're trying to subsidize it ourselves. And obviously we're going to be giving away some vouchers today. And then we have the Remembrance Tree, which we're hoping to do this year.
It's a new concept this year, and one of our members came up with the idea that we're going to put a tree on the bridge as well and have bulbs on it, and people can buy a bulb for some of their loved ones abroad. So we'll write their names on the bulbs, and then we light up the whole tree so people can see it all over Christmas, and the names of their families that are away and can't be with them this year. So that's a new thing for us this year. The other thing I suppose I'd like to mention is the tourist office. I don't think we mentioned it. We are responsible for running the tourist office here. We do get a subsidy from Fáilte Ireland, but it doesn't cover our expenses. But so we have a part-time manager there, and the Chamber are running this completely. And it's something I think we'll have to try and continue, because it is a great asset to the town. I think that's mainly everything we do for our Christmas, I think. Apart from running around widely trying to get everything sorted. Yeah, I think that's about us really for this.
That's
Christmas.
great. Yeah, so much happening, and great that culture is such a big part of it, and that the business community is getting behind all that music and Santa's visit, and that there's so much going on. I put a list there of the places, the businesses where you can redeem the voucher in Skibbereen. So there's a big long list there. People can check them out, and then just a wee link to the tourist office too. So yeah, thank you so much to the Skibbereen Chamber. We know you have to go get back to work and open up the shop. So
apologies for I'm going to disappear.
Yeah, we really appreciate you popping in to Ludgate, and great. We've got this recorded for a few people who couldn't make it on the call as well. So that would be great to share. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thanks a million.
Have a good day.
Bye.
And we have now Deirdre. So I know Deirdre's on the call. So if she's there, she might let me know if she's actually available to unmute. Oh,
yeah, I'm here.
Hey,
Gavin.
Deirdre, thank you so much for waiting around. So Deirdre's going to join us from the Dunmanway Chamber, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what's happening locally, how people can support the local community there. So I'll hand over to you, Deirdre.
Yeah, thank you, Gavin, and thank you for the presentation. If it's okay, I'm going to leave my camera off because my internet connection isn't great this morning. Again, may I say thank you for organising this, and also thank you to Peter Walsh for advising us in relation to this. In terms of Dunmanway this Christmas, we have our Christmas market on the 8th of December in the West End Yard. So far we have 45 stalls signed up to the market, and they're essentially all local for all over West Cork, so we're really excited about that. In the centre of the town, a lady called Cecilia Scultaloobrink has set up a pop-up shop called Christmas Elves, and this is featuring original handcrafted gifts and Christmas decorations by local artists in Dunmanway and all over West Cork. It opened at the beginning of November, and it's absolutely flying it. It's jam-packed with local produce, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's really well worth a visit. And for the third year in a row, we will have our Christmas vouchers. They come in denominations of €10 upwards, and there's over 40 businesses in the town signed up to this, and so those vouchers are redeemable at all the 40 businesses in the town. I think that's pretty much it, but what I would like to say also, Gavin, is I would like to, seeing as Peter is on the call, I would also like to mention Brook Park, our enterprise centre in Dunmanway. He's managing that centre. It's a fantastic facility, really well worth a visit to anybody in West Cork, especially for remote working and through the pandemic. Peter and his team offered up the centre to many businesses, and especially students who weren't able to go to college. He offered them the remote working in Brook Park for free, and he deserves all the support in the world. Thank you.
Thanks a million, Deirdre. That's good stuff. And I think Peter's going to share some links there for some of the stuff happening in Dunmanway too. Yeah, really appreciate you coming along and joining us. And like I said, this will be available for anyone who is not on the call right now, because we're making the available recording to all the people who registered online. So we're going to have a draw, as you all know, for some of those vouchers. And we want to thank again the Chambers in Clonakilty, in Skibbereen and Dunmanway for supporting Grow Remote, and to come along and attend today when, you know, some people have to open up their shops. So really appreciate it. I'm getting some stuff there from Peter. I just posted into the group. Yeah, so what we might do is, at this point, I'd love to hear from anybody. If anybody's got any interesting stuff happening over Christmas, we can just open it up to the group for about 5-10 minutes and see. There might be some cool stuff going on that local people might want to know about. So I can see some people just on the call here. Maybe they know stuff's going on, and as people come back home for Christmas, maybe there's some stuff going around. Or maybe if anyone just wants to share anything just about remote working, or maybe how the Christmas parties go for a remote organization. I know that's something that there's a lot of chat about at the minute, you know, amongst employers, and maybe some of you on the call have experience of that. So yeah, I'll maybe open it up there, and anyone who wants to get involved. Rachel, I think, might want to jump on, so we'll spotlight Rachel here. And thank you so much. Good to see you, Rachel.
Hey, Donald. Thank you. Thanks for the great event today. Hi everyone, my name is Rachel, and I'm the owner at Mixed Co-working. I recognise some faces, so lovely to see you all. Yeah, just a quick one. If you haven't visited us yet, and you're in town doing some shopping, we actually have hourly pricing. So if it's a case of you want to come in for a couple of hours to get a little bit of work done while you're in town, feel free to come in. We have an online booking system, so it's all very self-service, but as well, walk-ins are very welcome. And then as well, we through the connected hubs, we got a grant to put some solar panels on the roof. So if any of you saw scaffolding outside the building, that's what we were up to. So we're delighted that that's now up and working. And we also have some individual meeting units in the back now. So we have 5 small units and 1 large meeting space. So everything, all of those will be available to rent and use from January. And we're delighted to let everybody know, we'll be putting the word out over the next couple of weeks, that for community groups festival groups, anyone working in arts and culture groups, and for students, will be offering the private spaces for free. This is a stipulation that's built into the Connected Hubs grant that we got. So 25% of the grant amount must be provided back to the community. It's called a community dividend. So we're delighted that we'll be able to share the facilities with people in the community that are working, as I said, volunteering, any type of community group. So whether it's from photography groups in the evening, or the Chamber of Commerce itself, or Grow Remote, of course, as well, or Tidy Towns, anything like that. So if you know of anyone, let them know we're here, and from January we'll have our private spaces and meeting space available for free to use.
That's amazing, Rachel. Thanks so much. I just a question on that. How, you got that support through Connected Hubs, the community dividend, and that offers that free space for people. How long is that going for? Is it like one free day, or how does it all work?
Sure. Yeah. So so the Connected Hubs launched a large national fund for workspaces, and you'll know that co-working space and digital hubs are all set up a little bit differently. So many are social enterprises, or maybe they're county council directly, set up directly by the county council. So we're a private entity. So the community dividend is a stipulation that we have to honor as a private entity. So it's a great piece within the project that ensures that we're kind of sharing our facilities with the community while also being a private business. So the community dividend is 25% of the grant amount. So depending on the interest we get, we plan to offer the spaces for free for 2 to 3 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
And again, it's all about that social impact, like community-based work, and it's great that obviously that support has come in, but that you're running it is brilliant. So I'd say there'll be a lot of fascinating conversations coming out of that. It's when people come into your space and they get to mingle and maybe meet people over a coffee that they never met before in their local community, and that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the call out for different groups within the community, it will be kind of for evening use, weekend use, or then during the day as well. We'll have kind of hot times where the private spaces are for members here, and then other periods of time within the day which they'll be free to use for those types of groups. So yeah, so this is the first time this is the first announcement of it, and we'll be doing some marketing around that over the next few weeks. So if you know anyone that's working in a group, there's lots of groups out there that are working really, really hard to put things together, like festivals, summer festivals, anything like that. They might be meeting in cafes and pubs, and maybe they'd like to continue that. That's always nice, but we're here. The facility is here now for people to meet on neutral ground and to have the facilities. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the world exclusive. Really privileged that Grow Remote got the world exclusive on that. And also, if you want to share some links in there, please do, Rachel. Please let us know if there's anything we should be looking at. And yeah, I think this conversation I've had with Gavin before, West Cork has such a vibrant cultural scene where there are so many festivals, there's so much going on. I was down myself at a festival there over the summer, and just every single town has a festival nearly every week, it seems like. So yeah, that's a good thing to be able to open up and really bring in that sector, because it's such a vibrant part of the identity down there. I would like to maybe ask that question to any of the remote employees that are working for remote companies about Christmas parties, or how you do that, or if there's like a Christmas event, a virtual event, or whether people are meeting offline or going to a city, or if there's anyone who wants to answer that, I would be interested to know. Maybe some of the remote employees on the call might want to jump on for a second.
Donna, can you hear me?
Yes, how's it going?
Yeah. So I work remotely in Clonakilty, and we're just doing a lunch, a Christmas lunch coming up. I think it's the 2nd of November. I think it's the next Friday. Yeah, so and we're going to a local venue called Burt's in Clonakilty. So there's probably around 10, 20 of us that will be connecting together next Friday for a lunch, kind of Christmas themey thing, you know. But we're hoping for Grow Remote down here in West Cork as well. We might have a night with a few beers here, maybe.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And that's something that in a few different chapters, they're thinking of doing something. In fact, in the local chapter here around Balbriggan, the local leaders, the chapter leaders, they want to hold something for people who are probably not going to make it into the city for whatever they're doing in the city, into Dublin. So they want to do something and do it through Grow Remote to get just to meet people locally and maybe have a night out which is more social in the community. And I know for Grow Remote we're going to be we're meeting in Athlone right in the middle on Tuesday evening just for dinner because June, who works over, she's based in Lisbon and she's coming over to do a few meetings and stuff. She's on the learning and training side, so she's doing a few things just before Christmas. So we're actually going to meet and have a dinner. So it's a nice way. It's really nice every like 2 or 3 months to actually come together. So I'm always interested and always intrigued by how people build that into their plans for like a Christmas party or a night out, because it's very different when you're not all in the same place every day. But yeah, it's good to hear other ideas too. Good stuff. And there's going to be a night out for members in the hub at Ludgate. So again, building that community around the hub itself on the 9th of December. That's great. I'm sure people can find out more about that at the pastries and over coffee. So that's great. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to hand over to Peter because we have the draw on the vouchers. He literally has a hat and he's going to whip the ticket out of the hat. So we're just going to get you up on the screen. Hold on a second and make sure it's all above board.
Yes, I'm in the box here, the hot seat.
So just explain, Peter, tell us again, what exactly is this draw for?
Okay, so I suppose I want to thank the different chambers of commerce for volunteering to offer these vouchers for our event today. Clonakilty Chamber, Dunmanway Chamber of Commerce and Skibbereen. So like, I suppose, you know, the chambers do such great work throughout the year, not just at Christmas time, and they're involved in everything in the community. And a lot of it is done on a volunteer basis. So I suppose at Christmas time when we're shopping, and it's good to support the local community to keep them vibrant. And you know, you take the hub in Dunmanway, in my own situation, the local businesses, you know, did a bit of fundraising for us as well. So I suppose it's kind of circular economy, we call it. So I suppose, look, just to thank them again. So we have €300 of local shopping vouchers. So what I suggested was that we draw 6 €50 vouchers between everyone who registered for this event, except ourselves. So we don't want to be winning our own prizes. But so we'll start with the Clonakilty Chamber. So there's 2 €50 vouchers for the Clonakilty Chamber. So thanks to Mick Hanley and the gang there. So the first one is, and of course it has to be a name I can't pronounce, Tuale Kuzma Ray.
Okay, congratulations.
Kunali Kuzma Ray is the first winner of the Clonakilty voucher for €50. The second winner then is Shelley Kingston. So that's the second voucher. They're the 2 Clonakilty vouchers. Congratulations to Tunade and Shelley. So the next one we put close to home as we're in Skibbereen today, and thanks to Gavin the Ludgate for hosting us. So the next one is Vicky Kelly, a €50 voucher. Or, someone's excited there anyway.
Congratulations.
Is Claire McGonigal is the other €50 voucher for Skibbereen. Okay, congratulations, Claire and Vicky. So now, last but not least, the Dunmanway Chamber. Again, thanks to Deirdre. She had a busy schedule this morning, including a visit to the dentist. So she did well to hop on. So the first winner of the Dunmanway €50 voucher is Dylan Holland. Congratulations, Dylan, if you're with us. So someone's going home happy. And the last but not least is Patrick Hurley, €50 voucher for the Dunmanway Chamber of Commerce. So unfortunately, we don't have one for everyone in the audience, but congratulations to the winner. Happy Christmas, happy shopping. And thanks to everyone for attending today.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. So I think most people were on the call there. So congratulations for your voucher, €50. That's a nice wee lift now going into the end of November. Thank you so much again for Gavin and Peter for bringing that together today, and for everyone in the chapter, Michelle and Neil, who are keeping this moving forward, building this community of remote workers. And again, it's not only just thinking about remote work. As Peter said, it's a circular economy. Everything is connected in your local community, and we have to reach out and build these connections. And I think that's what we heard today, that there's all these businesses getting involved, supporting the remote working ecosystem here in West Cork. So I want to thank you again. Thank you so much, Deirdre, for coming along, for sharing information about the Dunmanway Chamber. Really appreciate your time and your support, of course, and this won't be the last time. Thank you very much. And I want to say thank you to Helen Dempsey, who probably now standing in her shop back to work. And I want to say thanks to Mick from the chamber in Clonakilty as well. So I suppose we can all go offline now, and you lucky guys here in Ludgate, you can have a wee bit of chat, bit of conversation, and have a wee tea and coffee. And then I think it's a beautiful day here. I don't know what it's like down in Skibbereen, but a swim in Lochine at 12 o'clock for any of you brave souls to get ready for the weekend. But I might just pass over to Gavin just to tell us what's happening in the hub, just for anybody as we come offline, just for a wee second.
Thanks, Donald. Yeah, no, thanks very much, as always, for your help with the event today. A Grand Master now. I think you take over from Ryan Tuberty anytime soon, I'm sure, if we don't talk to you. So we really appreciate your help. No, just looking forward to meeting everyone now in the events room for pastries. And I'm one of the cowardly ones with a wetsuit, so I know there's some people here without wetsuits. So well done to those people. So looking forward to meeting everyone now next.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And Peter's going to email all the winners just to make sure. And I'm sure Gavin will contact everybody who registered with access to this recording and all the information. And there's some good links in there as well about the vouchers. But it's a great scheme and massive support from the local community, from all the businesses. And again, it's great to be continuing to build this. So I want to say thanks to everybody. Good to see you again. Tunde was on our call on Wednesday. She's one of the local leaders taking the local course. So she'll be learning more about the local chapter, and I'll be supporting her to learn more about Grow Remote and how we can all get more involved in the local community. Good to see you again, Patrick, and Trina was on there. So yeah, hopefully we'll all see each other soon. But in the meantime, have a lovely Christmas, have a nice few weeks in the run up, and we'll come offline now, and you can grab a coffee. All right.
Thanks, Donald.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Thanks,
guys. Have a nice day.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye.